All right, channel 4 with the flow. This is the next tea time. You feel me? Episode. I got some things I'm burning. Feel me? Sort of like all the old ways to myself. We getting visuals, as you know. We doing, well, as you can see, we got visuals with this episode. We're kind of changing things up. I want to give y'all, feel me, just something new. It's been raining, feel me, non-stop, so the grass is wet. And it's taking a little bit to get this, fire going. Feel me, but we gonna find a way for this episode. We gonna find a way for this episode. I mean, cause there we go. Now we got get this going a little bit. I got some good branches up in there. Feel me? Good logs. Whoa! Let me pop on back. And there we go. There's our fire. So we don't need no more. We good. We got it going. So, now that we here, you feel me? Channel 4 with the flow, coming at you for the Tea Time Podcast. I'm out here by my fire pit that's built. Now I can really feel the flame coming off of this. You feel me? And it's been a wild 2026. You feel me? Absolutely wild 2026. I started my own organization some years ago, and the goal was always to get my boys sponsored by Nike, and I did that. You feel me? I did that. Had some help, but the goal was achieved. Shout out to my boys right now. They still continuing in the plan down at Peach Jam. I believe they 2-0 right now, so big shout out to them. Big shout out to Marcus, the coach that took over, a good friend of mine. Big shout out to him as well. But on my own path, you feel me, where I thought I'd be, I'm currently not. You feel me? I'm not there. And the reason I'm not there is I want to place blame on other people, but ultimately I believe I'm not there because of, honestly, my fallout with Christ. You feel me? I stopped praying. I was running, really running from Christ, doing a bunch of things that I shouldn't have been doing. You feel me? A bunch of partying, and not enough self-evaluation. You feel me? And if y'all ain't know, you feel me? I come close to the camera. You know what I mean? There has been a major change. I cut off the locks. You feel me? I had to let go of the hair because the hair was a part of me that honestly just had to die. You feel me? It just had to go. It had weight that it carried that I had to let go. And in my new following, you feel me, with Christ, and before I even go into, new following, I've always been a follower of Christ. Always been a follower of Christ, and was a big Bible reader and Bible studier when I was in college and overseas, and then went through something, you feel me, I'll call it a heartbreak, and started running from Christ, and started running so fast, so far, that I hadn't dreamed in 5 years, 6 years. I'm talking about no dreams, no nightmares, no happy dreams, no casual dreams, no nothing. And it was, maybe about 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I really just want to get my life back intact. You feel me? And in order to really get my life back intact, I had to get back with Christ. I had to get back in that word. Now I'm in, Bible study 2 times a week. We do a Holy Hoops on Wednesday. I joined a church, Trinity Temple, out in Grandview. Became a member, and really following in the path of what it means to be a true Christian. Not one of them Christians that go to church on Sunday, you feel me, want to catch the Holy Ghost, and then you live in the wrong way Monday through Saturday. You feel me, in the wrong way physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You feel me, just out here feeding your flesh. And for the last 5 or 6 years, that's all I was doing, was feeding my flesh, feeding my flesh, feeding my flesh. And honestly, when God has a call on your life, it don't matter how much you run or how much you want to run. His way is the only way. And he's gonna put a way for you to get back to him. And for me, that way was taking everything. He took, he took everything from me. And not even necessarily he took everything from me, because God is not a mean God. He's not an evil God. But everything fell apart. And it's because I lifted that shield of protection he had over my life. I lifted it running, not reading my Bible, not going to church. You feel me? Always being at Sunday fun day. You feel me? In the club on Sunday nights. I just wasn't it. And the way he took everything is what I built from the ground up with my basketball organization. I ended up, merging with a home field, and it falls through. You feel me? And then I think the next deal is the best deal or a better deal, and merge with Mocan, and then it falls through. And then, I'm thinking I'm down and out, or I'm not thinking I'm down and out, like I'm, gonna go back and get mine. And then I get with Run GMC, and then it falls through. And, a lot of it, I wanted to blame them. Feel me? I want to blame the director, blame the owners. But in reality, it's not them. You feel me? It's me. Now, was I done shady? Yeah, I was. But at the end of the day, if you can't take acceptance for your faults, then you're not really growing as a person. You're not growing, especially as a man. Learning to accept what you did wrong is a major part of being a man. And, maybe had I cut my hair back then and been on this walk then, maybe things would have turned out different. But I'm also a believer that in each one of those organizations that I was let go from, for whatever reasons, my fault, whether it's, they just wanted what I had and wanted to get me in the door to take what I had, to use it and thrive and to build themselves up, whatever the case was, there was something around there that wasn't spiritually healthy for me, wasn't mentally healthy for me, wasn't physically healthy for me. And honestly, I would have never seen it had God not removed me from those situations. And sometimes in life, y'all, we really need that. Sometimes we really need to sit down and evaluate what it is that God has in store for us, because a lot of us are moving just simply off of what we want and how we want it and when we want it, and completely ignoring that God has a plan for your life. You feel me? It could be exactly where you at and what you doing. It could be something completely different to what you're doing, the complete opposite to what you're doing. But the one thing we can't do is run, which is what I was doing. And y'all, let me tell you, dreaming now, and I don't really consider myself to be a prophet, but when I tell, my aunties and my mother and some of my spiritual leaders of the dreams I have that come true, they seem to believe that it's prophetic. And prophetic dreams and visions are a gift from God. something I was running from, early on in this journey, but something I'm not running from now. So now when I have, vivid dreams, the last thing I see when I wake up and write it down. And to tell y'all, a lot of my dreams have come true. If I'm being honest, if they haven't been right away come true, they definitely have come true, and it's been very, very shocking, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, but rewarding at the same time. So you feel me? Looking back, honestly, I could say I was wrong for blaming anybody but myself for my downfall. You feel me? Like I said, I lost everything. The only thing I really wanted to do in life and have been is my love is basketball, is coaching, is giving back, making a way for those who will not have had a way, who will not have gotten the opportunity to really be seen because of the outer staters who come in these organizations. The underdog, that was, my goal, build an academy from the ground up, something that Kansas City can really hold his hat on, Kansas can hold his hat on. And the way I was doing it, timing wasn't right. You feel me? God, literally had to pick me up. You feel me? Pull me out. Like, this ain't for you. These people not for you. So as I took a step back, I'm in a whole different avenue now, y'all. Whole different avenue. A little bit on what I'm doing now. I'm a manager at Domino's and training to become a GM. So, hopefully within 2 or 3 months, I'll have my own store that I'll be in charge of. I stopped coaching for about 2 months, maybe 3 months, maybe longer, just because I was so hurt and so beat down. But going back to it, like I said, when God has a calling on your life, you can't run from that. You can't run from that. And honestly, why would you? So, I can't necessarily say where I'm at now with coaching because, we're still in the works right now. Me and a friend of mine, I'm going to join his organization and get back into the coaching world, training world. I got my hat in a few rings as far as coaching collegiately. You feel me? One here in the States, one here in, Kansas City, Missouri. And then honestly, one overseas. I'm looking for that big journey, if I can say so. I am looking for that big journey, that big change. But it all comes through prayer. Like I said earlier, I've joined the church, and I've really been diving into the Word of Christ, really been reading that Bible. We had church on Sundays. The church is Trinity Temple, out in Grandview, Missouri. If you're looking for a church home, come see us. Bishop Stevens is an amazing bishop and really relatable, and it's very family oriented. So you can, please come join us. On Wednesdays, we have the Men of Valor program where we do Bible study, and then we hoop. So if any of y'all want to get on the court with me, come on out there. But you cannot get on the court with me without getting that word, because a big part of my walk now is being in a circle of like-minded individuals. And for me, that's Christian men. I want to be around Christian men. I want to be around Christian fathers. You feel me? I want to be around my Christian brothers. And, brothers ain't just black. It's, white, Latino, Asian, you feel me? Indonesian, Indian, whatever you are, if you a man of Christ, I want you to be around me, as well as the youth. And I want to spew what God has put in me into the next generation. Not just my nieces and nephews, not just my family, but other young men of the church. You feel me? Other young men. If you lost, you feel me? You don't have your dad around, come see me. Come see me, because I got testimony for you, whether it be sport or whether it just be finding my path back to Christ. And as you can see, we doing new things. Like, we're on the bigger things. We not in that way of lingering on to the past. You feel me? For all of y'all who feel like I may have wronged you, I want to take this time to apologize to you. You feel me? And for all of y'all who I feel like have wronged me, And it's in the past. I forgive you. Now, that don't necessarily mean I want to be around you. You feel me? Because even when Judas betrayed Jesus, Jesus didn't take him back. You feel me? There are some betrayals that we really can't come back from, and they'll never hold the same, we can never hold the same relationship. You feel me? But then, right off of that, Jesus did forgive Peter. And Peter came back and was a great disciple for Jesus. And in some avenues that can be, I want to live more like Christ so that I enter the kingdom of heaven, y'all. And I want y'all to be there with me. And I will tell you, it is hard to walk the path of a true Christian because one of my addictions as a single male with no children, is women. And that's one of the things I put myself off of, practicing abstinence, not getting physical with a woman until we are in a serious relationship and I can feel the spirit of, I want this to be my wife. And I've been doing great of that. But I will say ever since I started this walk, women have been coming out of the woodwork, you feel me? Old and new. You feel me? Older and newer. Absolutely out of nowhere. The 3 a.m. text message and calls that I once upon a time would 100% accept and look forward to because I felt like, my boys were living vicariously through me because a lot of them are, either married or, just not living in that path. Now it's not it. And it's true what they say. As you grow and as you mature, and for me, as I get closer to God with each day, the things I used to find extremely interesting and fun are no longer fun, no longer interesting. You feel me? Like this fire, I feel like I could toss in, lust. I feel like I could toss in, partying. You feel me? I feel like I could toss in lying. I feel like I could toss in, not sinning because we sin every day. Even if we don't mean to sin, we sin every day. But I feel like I can toss in intentional sinning. I could toss in running away from God. You feel me? I could toss in anger, being angry and being mad, and, I could toss in not forgiving. You feel me? I feel like I could toss all those things into this fire because of who I am growing into as a man. But more importantly, who I'm growing into as a man of Christ. A lot of things we do, we don't think they affect the people around us, but they do. And a lot of the decisions we make, a lot of the actions we take, a lot of the reactions we do to what people do, they alter our path. They alter our path. And being a follower of Christ now, into my word, Jesus is not just a Sunday thing. It's an everyday Jesus. It's an everyday read my devotional. If I don't touch the word, or it's an everyday read my devotional and the word. And ever since then, things have been, going up. I had mentioned, I had, lost, basketball. And not only when I lost it, money got tight, friends got scarce. You feel me? Everything started to come, crackling down at one time. Everything. And then as I found my way back into Christ's life and let him open myself up 100%, fully, as I opened myself all the way up to Christ, I started getting everything back. And it's been great. It's a song I like to listen to. And I forget the name of the woman that sings it. But she goes, everything that the devil stole, God's giving it back to me. Everything that the devil stole, God's giving it back to me. And I feel like that's coming around. You feel me? I don't even know if y'all can see my smile. Hopefully this fire illuminates, bright enough to where you can see my face. But that's exactly how I feel. I feel like everything that was taken from me, God's getting ready to give it back to me. He's about to renew my season. It's the season of renewal. So future on the Tea Time Podcast, y'all can 100% be expecting more video content. You know, follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Snapchat, because I want to share all of my beautiful experiences with y'all. You know, be a testimony for somebody out there watching. You know, if things ain't going your way right now, find Jesus Christ, and I promise you things will turn around in a full 360. Full 360, sooner than you know it. And for some of y'all, you know, before I exit, y'all saw my hair, and you saw that I cut my locks, and I've been growing my dreadlocks for 9 years, y'all. If you don't know the story of Samson, go look it up, because I always felt like I was Samson. I felt like my hair was my strength. If you don't know the story, go to the Bible, look up the story of Samson. He ends, it's a tough way he ends, but he ends on the faith of God. But I always felt like, you know, my hair was my strength. You know, I got my hair for my strength. You know, I could slay, you know, the enemy because my hair was so great. And I go to Bible study with my auntie and my cousins, and it's a great Bible study. We're having just an amazing time of fellowship and camaraderie, and I feel like, you know, we coming close together. And shout out my cousin LJ, shout out my cousin Dominic, shout out my auntie Shelly, shout out my uncle Leon, Ruru to the bros, you feel me, my frat brother as well, because when I was in, you know, a tough state of mind and I felt like I was broken down, I had reached out to a group of people, and my cousin LJ was the first one to respond, and he was the first one I started this walk with, and he's been there every day since, in communication, you know, church with me, Bible study with me, Holy Hoops on Wednesdays with me, and even pulling me along with him as he's climbing. So just tons of uplift. So really big shout out to my cousin LJ. I really don't think I could really be doing this without him. But back to it, we have a great Bible study Thursday night, and my hair is, you know, I need a retwist. So all y'all with locks, y'all understand what it's like in the retwist phase. Like, I need a retwist, but you really don't want to get a retwist without being able to get a haircut. So I'm waiting and figuring it's going to be a part of my new journey. You know, when I get my hair retwisted this next time, and this is what I'm telling myself, when I get my hair retwisted this next time, you know, I'm going to keep it up. It's going to stay up. It's going to stay done. I'm not going to go, you know, month and a half, 2 months without getting a retwist. I'm going to keep it up. I'm going to keep it up. And I'm sitting there talking to my auntie, and my auntie, she's like, well, have you ever thought about something new with your hair? And me, I'm like, nah, not really, because I love my hair. I've been growing it. It's been dedication to this. It's been discipline to this. I've been working for it. And it was funny she mentioned it because, you know, some weeks in advance or prior to that, I have been thinking like, you know, what if it's time for my hair to go? What if it's time to cut my hair? Because spiritually, your dreadlocks carry the years. They grow. You feel me? Each lock has its own testimony, honestly. And I felt like my hair, each lock had its own testimony, you know, from England to Glasgow to, you know, starting tea time to getting the boys to Mocan to home field to starting the city runs, you know, it's all my locks had their own weight that they carried. So I'm like, I don't know, auntie. I don't really know if, you know, if that's me, you know. I'll think about it though. So I get home, I pray, feel me? I go to bed, and it's still heavy on my heart, and it's weighing on my mind, you know, what we talked about. So I wake up the next morning, and my barber is Mickey the barber, you know, out at Chop's Barbershop. Shout out Chop, shout out Mickey, shout out all the barbers in Chop's Barbershop, man. All of them cool. It's a great place to go if you getting your hair cut or don't have a place to get your hair cut consistently. go visit Chop Barbershop. Every barber in there is pure fire. But I go to Mickey. We went to college together. She does a great job. And she's one of the best in the city, in my opinion. But she's always booked on Friday and Saturday, as most barbers are. You know, cannot get in the chair with her on a Friday or a Saturday if I don't book days in advance. And mind you, I had this conversation with my auntie on a Thursday. I go home, pray, I wake up on Friday. I'm like, you know what? You know, and I'm talking to God, just in my place, talking to God. Lord, if cutting my hair is a part of this journey, please show me a sign. Please show me a sign. Talk to me in some way. Please show me a sign. And so I grab my phone, I text Mickey, and I go, hey, I know this is probably, you know, I know you probably booked, but do you got any time today or tomorrow? And y'all, I kid you not, had she not had time, I probably would have kept my hair. And I would have been one of those people like, well, it didn't happen right now, so, you know, it must not be, you know, meant for me to cut my hair. And this fire's kind of hot. And I text her, and y'all, I kid you not, within 10 minutes, she hit me back and goes, somebody just canceled for tomorrow, Saturday, 7 a.m. I got a spot for you. And right there, I knew that a part of this journey, God is really with me. I've been going to Mickey for years, and she's never, when I say never, she's never had a Friday or a Saturday open for me with no day's notice. But this Friday, God put it on somebody's heart to cancel Saturday morning so I could fulfill my walk and show him that I'm serious about walking with him. Show him that I'm serious about giving myself to him 100%, all of me. I mean, in the book of James, it says, like the body without faith is dead, so is faith without works. Is dead. I'm sorry. The body absent of spirit is dead. Book of James, verse 2, or chapter 2. The body without the spirit is dead, so is faith without works is dead. And I can't be that guy that believes in God, believes in, you know, Christianity, believes in Jesus Christ, and I got all this faith, but I ain't acting on it. So when he gave me that, I went Saturday morning, cut it smooth off, and ain't look back, and don't plan to look back. So for y'all out there who may be on the teeter-totter about coming to Jesus Christ, come to him. He got nothing but open arms for you. Nothing but open arms for you. And my life has honestly been moving in an upward ever since. Excuse me. Even the things that go bad, even the things that go sideways, I don't feel sad about. I don't get down. I low-key get happy. Because one of the best ways for you to know that God loves you and that he's improving you and that he's pushing you in the direction of your calling is to put you through trials. You wanna move forward? He got some trials for you, and it's all about will you pass the test. And the best thing about him is he's forgiving always. So even when you fail, he's gonna give you another chance, and another chance, and another chance, and another chance. So that's my time. I'm signing out on Tea Time Podcast for today. You feel me? Stick with us, or stick with me for this series. I'm going to be interviewing people all over the city. I'm going to be interviewing my cousin. I'm going to bring him on to y'all so y'all can see my right-hand man. We're going to have some more fire pit talks. And we're just going to take this up to a whole new level because this is the season of renewal. And everything that the devil stole, God's going to give it back to me. Feel me? Love y'all. Peace. And I hope y'all have a great rest of the week.